grandson helped whatever. They'll both come running at the same time.
Hey y'all, how you doing? How many of you have ever been in love?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to talk about teenage love versus being 60 and over. Being 60 and over. Anyway, so when I was a teenager, I was dumb. Okay? I know I'm not the only one in here. But anyway, I was kind of dumb, right? I had all kind of red flags, but I didn't pay attention like most of us didn't. Anyway, I only know about teenage dating because I got married at 19. And I was married for 44 years. So when I turned 63 is when I lost my husband. And life moves on. You miss, but life moves on. So I'm thinking about girls, how cute we thought guys were, and they were a hunk, and they were all of that, and nobody could tell us anything, because we're going to do whatever anyway. Well, anyway, like I said, it's all kind of red flags. And so you think he's cute, and then at some point you give away the most prized possession that God has given you. But then, fellas, you got me now. You swinging from tree to tree like a monkey, spreading your family jewels all around. And so after all of that happens, then you got receipts. Somebody tell me what receipts are? That's right. Wow.
I don't want that.
That's right. And then mom got to take care of them, help you take care of them, because you can't afford it, and half of us didn't finish school. But anyway, I don't know how I missed that, but I thank God I did. And now I want to talk about how we got red flags. I want to talk about being a teenager, and I don't know why guys, I dated two guys that was in, that had been in jail. They had been to jail, right? And so I'm going to talk about this one. And I couldn't date until I was 16, right? I think I was 14. But anyway, so he came and picked me up from school, not in the car. He was walking. He was older than me. I only had one high school boyfriend. Everybody else was older. So anyway, we're walking home. He's walking me home from school. Of course, my mama didn't know. But he was walking me home from school. And I don't know what conversation we had, but the next thing I know, something went bam, right across my face. And I was like, Next thing you know, I went bam, right across his face. And so he said to me, "You don't hit me back." Red flag, right? And so he hit me again. And I hit him back. And we walking down the street on Court Street, slapping each other. So anyway, I didn't have enough yet. So I got out of school early. When I got out of school early, I went over there to see him. When I was ready to go, he said, "I'm not letting you go. I'm not letting you go yet." And so his mother said, "I gotta be careful with your name because he's still living." So the mother said, "Let her go." You know what he said? "You stay out of this, mama." So I sat there, and so I said, when I leave, I'm never coming back. He said, you're just doing that to scare me. I said, okay. When I left, I never went back.
All right now.
And I've never encountered anybody trying to hit me again. But he's still crazy, okay? He's still crazy. You got the crazy chicks. So that's a red flag. And so to me, fishing is like dating. If it ain't right,
Throw it back.
throw it back. Okay? So now, we think we dating at 60. Let's fast forward to 60. But I want to tell you, give you a little sneak peek of somebody else. When I was 17, I was in love with this military guy. And he was supposed to come back. We were supposed to get married, he was supposed to come back. So I'm going to tell you about that in a minute, but let me go here to some of the things that I've encountered. And so, let me tell you something. You think you got butterflies in your stomach, it's nothing but acid reflux. Mixed up with bad decisions, just like you was a teenager, all mixed up, bad decisions. And so, those are red flags. So anyway, I went to, started doing a little bit online, right? Talking to people. And I was catfished. This guy I was talking to, he was a white guy. I said, let me talk to a white guy, see what he talking about. So anyway, I got catfished. Y'all know what that means, right? I got catfished. So I was talking to a cousin of mine, and I said, something just don't seem right about this guy. And so she said, tell him to show you a picture of him in the kitchen. So he sent a picture of him in the kitchen. Then she said, tell him to show you a picture of him in his living room. So he sent me a picture of him in his living room, but you know what? It was a different person. It was not him. So what did I do? Back in the water. So it was this guy that was in the hospital. He didn't want me to text him, he wanted me to call. But he was in the hospital. And so he spilled out his whole life to me. He said, yeah, I'm in the hospital, and he said, and I live with my uncle, and you know, my uncle's not clean. And then he says, I was a drug addict for so many years, and I just want a friend for when I get myself together. You know what that spelled. He wanted a place to stay, and you know, he wanted all the amenities and didn't do nothing. But anyway, I said, Lord, I'm gonna let this man down. And so, but I was gonna do it. I don't care how I was gonna do it, but I was gonna do it. So anyway, what I did was I texted him and I said, I'm sorry, I can't be your friend. And so he left me alone, and I did what? Going on back, right? Then there was a truck driver I was talking to, and I said to him, "Is it true what they say about truck drivers?" He said, "What is that?" I said that they have families in multiple cities. And so he said to me, "Is it true what they say about bald-headed women?" And I say, "I don't know. What did they say?" That they got cancer. That's what he said. But he gave me back what I gave him. I wasn't mad at him.
All right.
What did I do? Throw him back. Then there was a guy in Doris that was talking to me. And he says, "Are you married?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, here's my number, call me." So I called him in a few days. You know, I didn't want to seem anxious now. He's a good looking guy, and he was billed about 5 years younger than me. Nice little guy. But I knew I would get in trouble with that. So anyway, what I did was, I called him and I talked to him about 3 times. And the last time I talked to him, he said, "You know, I had a dream." Now let me tell you what what this one girl told. He said, "She blocked me. I was talking to a girl and she blocked me because I wasn't a Christian." So I'm talking to him like 2 days later, and he said, "I had a dream." I said, "What was your dream about?" He said, "I had a dream that we was on the couch and we was all hugged up and everything." I said, oh yeah. And so we hung up, and I got my phone, what I do? Blocked him and deleted him. So, anyway, I had to do what? Go back. I'm going to tell you about this last one before I get to the other part. And it was about this one guy. I was working at the American House, and I'm sitting outside because I went to a baby shower. I was all dressed up and cute and everything. Next thing I know, here comes this guy, zoom, and he was zooming in an electric wheelchair with no shoes and no socks. And so he says, "Hi, how are you?" I said, "I'm fine." He says, "Are you married?" I said no, but I should have said yes. And then he says, "Will you go out with me?" And he had little stuff drooping all over his mouth. And as Cousin Tree would say, he has the audacity. And so, but anyway, he flew on back in his little chair. But no, I wasn't doing that. But let's go back to the man that when I was 17. Well, he said he was going to come back and get me. I had a best friend, and my girlfriend, she had a guy that she was dating. And they both said, "I got somebody for you to meet. I got somebody for you to meet." And so I said, "Oh, yeah?" So now, it was January of 1974. I was still in love with the other guy. Had a toothache that day, but I went on and met him. He didn't faze me because I was in love. Okay? So anyway, I didn't see him anymore. Actually, it was Michael, my husband. I didn't see him anymore. And so then, we're going to fast forward to October. My sister was 9 months pregnant, my older sister, and her friend Charlene and myself, we went out to the, Blue Chateau, back in the day. So, but anyway, so we went to the Blue Chateau, and I saw Peter, and I said, "Hey, Peter, how you doing?" He said, "Oh, I'm okay." I said, "How's Michael doing?" Because Michael never did call me and ask me out or anything. I said, "How's Michael doing?" He said, "Oh, he right here around here somewhere. Let me see if I can find him." So he couldn't find him. And so he said, "Well, jot down your number." We would always say that. "Jot down your number, so I can meet tomorrow." So I ain't in love with the other guy no more, right? Y'all know that. So anyway, so he takes my number. We go outside, and there's no car. Somebody done stole the car. And we from Mount Clemens. How we supposed to get home? They said, "How we get home? We way out here." I said, "Well," they said Peter was in there. "I'm going to have him paged." And I went and had him paged. He took us home. He asked me for a date way in November, but we have been seeing each other in that October. In December, we were engaged. And June the 7th, we got married. And that was 44 years. So the guy that I was in love with, I found him on Facebook years later, because you always wonder what happened. And so I found him on Facebook 30, 40 years later. And he had called the house before, but my mother was happy to tell him that she didn't like him. "Oh, she married. Oh, she got a kid." So, but anyway, I said to him, "What happened?" And he said, I couldn't afford it. And I knew if I called you and you cried, I would have to come." And he said, so I did the next best thing. He said, "I prayed and I asked God to send you someone that would love you and take care of you." Somebody asked me, because I still talk to him today, and they asked me, "Would you, go back with him, marry him, or whatever?" I said, "No, he don't have enough money." But I just want to say to you, if you're in love, or if you're not in love, allow yourself to be loved. Because some women don't allow themselves to be loved because they have been through so much. Yes. Allow yourself to be loved. It's okay. You know, it is okay. And if you don't get married, it's okay too. Just love yourself, love on yourself. And I pray that if you haven't, that you will find it. I've been fortunate to be loved twice. My friend Skip, which you're about to see a video of him, he died in November the 1st of 2024. And he was really, really good to me. Thank you.